Competency number 3, where the practice areas suitable. Sound easy? If it sounds too good to be true, the chances are, having landed on the DVSA marking sheet for a very important test, the ADI Part 3 or standards check, then chances are it probably is. So let's have a little look at the shortest wording competency, where the practice areas suitable. So what DVSA haven't said, which I always like to look at, is was the practice area suitable? That to me in itself speaks volumes. Neither have they put was the practice area brackets areas suitable, saying that they're happy with one or two or more than one. They've asked where the practice areas, plural, suitable. That tells me that not only have we got to keep the lesson learning progressing and the structure suitable for the pupil's experience and ability, but we've also got to keep the wheels moving and the lesson moving geographically to different areas. So, if you have had a test or you are doing lessons that in one area and not moving away from that area or going around the block and doing the same junction, that is not acceptable. It states it clearly in this competency, and also there's no structure of your lesson in terms of practice areas being suitable. The other thing I look for is when you say suitable, that is linked to suitable to what? So we now see a pattern evolving from competency 1 to competency 2 to now competency 3, in that where the practice area is suitable has to link to the previous two. Suitable to the pupil's learning and experience, so experience and ability. So is it suitable to that and the lesson structure? And is it suitable to their learning need and goal? So if we've chosen a theme such as junctions, or if we've chosen a theme, let's say something else, let's say we've chosen defensive driving, and we haven't matched that with a suitable areas, then we have issues then. So for me, if we're taking a full licence holder and we were taking them around nursery routes doing defensive driving, and it was quite quiet, so nursery routes I term as quite flat, wide roads, somewhere where we'd take a beginner to a learner to develop their skills, their basic skills, while being able to control them and being able to manage the risk. So if we start taking someone there who we've just said we want to do defensive driving with, say a full licence holder, could be new, could be full licence holder old, could be someone coming up to test standard, who we just want to get a little bit better for when they pass their test. If we start taking them to nursery routes throughout that lesson, we've got to ask ourselves, is it an area or areas, and were they suitable to that pupil's, not only the theme and the learning goal, but also their experience and ability. So again, if we've chosen a subject of rural roads and we start doing a route involving lots and lots of roundabouts and hardly any rural roads, that's not suitable either. But I think that's what mostly we think about when we look at that competency. Have we matched the lesson theme to the route that we're planning or we've got in our mind? And I think this is generally where more experienced ADIs do better, because we're working day in, day out on these kind of roads, and we know if we're looking at this pupil and thinking they really need to work on that type of junction, or we need to work on that kind of routine, or we need to really work on mirrors. We already know the area well and we know the shortcuts around and we kind of know how to match it. So this is more for people who are PDIs and are looking at matching themes to areas. Don't just think that though, we also must match the ability and experience of that pupil to the areas we are choosing to allow a lesson to progress. So let's give you an example for not a complete beginner, sorry, we can't take that anymore, but a learner in the early stages of learning. We may start on a nursery route, we may take them on a very flat, easy route around that's quite close to the test centre, getting into the PSL routine and correcting faults within that. And once they are taking some responsibility and being able to cope with part of that routine, can we step back and let them step up a little bit? Can we take them to another area which involves a slight hill, or get them moving off and stopping on hill start, or emerging from T-junctions, being able to control the clutch, still in quiet areas? On the other side, we've got trained pupils or full licence holders or more experienced drivers, in which case we can start the lesson quite involved in traffic, and we could get them to understand what commentary driving is. We could then progress their learning onto some even busier routes, which involve maybe bus lanes and box junctions, lots of speed changes, maybe rural roads, and then we can move even further than that, maybe get them onto a dual carriageway or motorways on the way back. Do they know the statistics involving crash rates? There's so many different layers, but I do think that this is another important competency, again, third on the list. So if you get this wrong, or you don't match it to your goal and your lesson theme and the ability of that pupil, or move around a little bit to see them progress in their learning and see different types of junctions within their ability, then we will be marked down on this competency. Hope this helps.